Well, howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Poorly Educated Podcast, where we tackle the biggest news stories in the world with the kind of wisdom you normally hear at a Waffle House at 3 a.m. after the jukebox breaks. I'm your host, and today we got ourselves a whole bucket of chaos. Wars overseas, National Guard in Memphis, Trump suing the newspaper like it stole his chickens, the Fed playing with interest rates like they's darts at the honky-tonk, and some cyber nerds taking down Land Rovers like it's Fast and Furious 16, keyboard drift. Grab your Bush Light, buckle them bib overalls, and let's dive in. Segment 1, Gaza under siege. Now look here, folks. Israel done gone and rolled the tanks straight into Gaza City. They say it's the main phase of their plan, but last I checked, anytime somebody says main phase, it don't end with s'mores and kumbaya. It ends with explosions, buildings crumbling like stale cornbread, and kids caught in the middle. 500,000 little ones told, "Y'all just run south," like there's a Buc-ee's down there handing out free brisket sandwiches. The UN's like, "Hey y'all, this looks like genocide." Israel's like, "Nah. And the rest of the world sitting around acting shocked, like this ain't been the worst kept secret since KFC don't actually got farm fresh chickens. Britain called the offensive reckless and appalling. When the British say you're reckless, buddy, that's like being called ugly at a family reunion. Everyone's already thinking it. But dang, when Aunt Karen blurts it out, it stings. And then you got the families of Israeli hostages standing outside the Prime Minister's house screaming, "Stop bombing the people holding our kinfolk." That's like hunting raccoons in your attic with dynamite. Sure, you might get the raccoons, but you just lost your roof too. Segment 2, Ukraine wants a sky shield over in Ukraine. Zelensky's begging for a pan-European air defense. Translation, hey Europe, y'all ever thought about sharing one big bug zapper, except for Russian rockets? Russia's still blasting apartment buildings in Zaporizhzhia, and Ukraine's like, look, it ain't just about us. It's about protecting y'all's schnitzels in Germany and pierogies in Poland. He's smart too. He stopped saying defend Ukraine and started saying defend Europe. That's like me trying to get my cousin Earl to help fix my truck. I don't say, hey Earl, come fix my F-150. I say, Earl, if this truck don't run, we can't haul beer to the fishing hole. Now suddenly it's our problem. Zelensky just rednecked NATO into paying for more missiles. Respect. Segment 3, Operation Memphis Back Home. Trump's sending the National Guard into Memphis. Says crime is out of control. But Memphis police are like, boss, crime's at a 25-year low. Murders down, assaults down, and the only thing up is barbecue prices. It's like sending in the army because you heard somebody left their front porch light on. This is less about keeping Memphis safe and more about Trump playing sheriff in a cowboy movie that nobody asked for. He's basically doing a drive-by with democracy. Howdy, partner. I heard y'all got problems, so I brought soldiers. Don't thank me all at once. Meanwhile, Memphis folks are sitting there like, sir, can you just fix the potholes instead? Segment 4, Trump versus the New York Times. Y'all, Trump is suing the New York Times for $15 billion. $15 billion. That's more money than my Uncle Bubba swears he would have won if Dale Earnhardt Jr. hadn't crashed that one time in Daytona. He says the paper defamed him by writing a book about how he squandered his daddy's fortune. Buddy, if squandering fortunes was a crime, half my family would be in prison for blowing their tax refunds at Bass Pro Shops. But here's the kicker. He ain't expecting to win. This is lawfare, which sounds like a Walmart Black Friday sale, but is actually him trying to scare journalists. Basically, he's saying, write something bad about me, and I'll bury you in so many lawsuits you'll be using legal briefs as insulation. Which is ironic, because insulation's the only wall Trump's ever actually built. Segment 5, the Fed's no-win game. Now the Federal Reserve's meeting up, probably cutting interest rates. Folks are expecting a 25-point cut, but Trump's on Truth Social yelling, make it bigger, like a drunk uncle at a 4th of July fireworks stand. Problem is, if Powell cuts rates, people say he caved to Trump. If he don't cut, folks say he's tanking the economy. This man's trapped in the world's worst choose-your-own-adventure book. Every option ends with, congratulations, you've angered America and possibly caused a recession. It's like when my Aunt Cheryl asked me if her potato salad was good. If I said yes, she made it every Sunday for eternity. If I said no, I got slapped upside the head. Powell's in Aunt Cheryl's kitchen, In Buddy, the potato salad's lumpy. Segment 6, cyber attack on Jaguar Land Rover. Meanwhile, some English-speaking teenagers shut down Jaguar Land Rover with a cyber attack. Production's been stopped 3 weeks. They losing 72 million pounds a day, which sounds like a diet plan, but is actually money. Dealers can't get parts, suppliers are collapsing, and hackers call themselves scattered lapsus dollar hunters. That name sounds less like a hacker group and more like my cousin's failed rock band. But these kids done prove that global supply chains are about as sturdy as a Walmart tent in a tornado. Turns out, just-in-time manufacturing really means just wait till some teenager gets bored on Xbox and crashes the whole dang system. Segment 7, TikTok truce. The US and China cut a deal to keep TikTok alive. Oracle's stepping in like your buddy holding two drunk friends apart at the bar. They say America might own part of TikTok, but who controls the magic algorithm is still up in the air. That's like arguing who gets custody of the remote on football Sunday. It don't matter who owns the couch if you can't change the channel. Segment 8, Global Hunger Crisis. The UN says we're facing a perfect storm of hunger, wars, climate disasters, and rich countries cutting funding. Translation: billions for bombs, but not a dime for bread. It's like spending all your paycheck on fireworks and realizing you ain't got money for charcoal and hot dogs. Somebody's priorities are backwards. Segment 9, AI 3-day work week. Tech big shots say AI is going to give us a 3-day work week. Y'all, if that happens, I'm finally starting my dream job, professional lawn chair tester. But let's be real, AI ain't giving us more leisure. Bosses are just going to say, congrats, you can do 5 days work in 3, so now you get paid for 3. Next thing you know, we're all working harder, making less, and begging a robot named Jeff to approve our dental insurance. Segment 10, Sports and Culture. Tom Brady's coming out of retirement again, but not for the NFL. Nope, he's playing flag football in Saudi Arabia. Nothing says football purity like Tom Brady running routes next to a camel. Meanwhile, the Emmys gave a trophy to a 15-year-old actor. At 15, I was trying to build a potato gun out of PVC pipe and nearly blew off my thumb. Kids these days making speeches in tuxedos, while I'm still wondering if my GED credits count toward Chuck E. Cheese tickets. In conclusion, so there you have it, folks. Wars overseas, lawsuits at home, hackers running amok, and Tom Brady trading his helmet for a keffiyeh. It's a wild world out there, but we'll keep explaining it the only way we know how. Bad jokes, too much of sweet tea, and a prayer that AI don't figure out how to replace this podcast with ChatGPT wearing overalls. Y'all stay safe, stay poorly educated, and remember, if the news don't make sense, that just means you're paying attention.